We come to you just about 30 minutes west of downtown Chicago, the All-State Arena here in Rosemont, Illinois. Big East basketball on Fox College Hoops today. And we are underway here in Chicago. Opening tap controlled by Providence. Friars at 15-6, 5-3 in league play. DePaul 10-11 overall, 2-6 in conference. An easy bucket inside, and Providence is on top early, 2-zip.
Providence picking up, Corey, and a little bit of a three-quarter court pressure, trying to speed DePaul up.
Dante Henton, the first bucket of the game, and a turnover. That's been a problem, really, Kevin, all year long for DePaul.
Well, they're first in the league in turnovers at 14 a game, and you don't want to start the game at home giving up an easy layup and a turnover on the first two possessions.
Bryce Cotton led the Big East in scoring last year. Here's Tyler Harris. Bats inside. Can't finish, and Hamilton the rebound.
Brandon Young's going to have to be super aggressive offensively today to take up the slack for three of their starters being out.
3-second violation on DePaul, so Providence will have it. Let's take a look at our starting lineups today. Same starting five for the 22nd straight game for Providence. Meanwhile, DePaul, its 8th different starting lineup here this afternoon. And Kevin mentioned the absence of Melvin, Garrett, and McKinney here this afternoon in this matchup.
This starting lineup averages in the low 20s, around 22.5 points a game. That's not a juggernaut. I mean, they're going to have to play great on the defensive end and take better care of the ball than they are so far.
Here's Cotton on the drive. Pretty runner in the paint.
This guy finds a way to score, doesn't he, Corey? He gets around the basket. He floats. He can shoot the three. He's really a prolific player.
Averaging 21 points per game, 6 assists, 3 rebounds per contest. Here's Young on the drive. No, but he was fouled. And that's what you kind of alluded to earlier. If DePaul's going to win today, that guy right there, Brandon Young, must step up for Oliver Purnell's Blue Demons.
He's going to have to be a major force offensively. He's going to have to get baskets himself, baskets for other people, and then back on the defensive end, he's got to do a great job on Bryce Cotton.
Foul was on Kadeem Batts, the senior from Boston, his first. And Young short in that first free throw try, and Cooley going to his bench early. Just Ted Bancroft will check in, and Tyler Harris will sit. DePaul also going to its bench. DeJuan Marrero is in. And Greg Sekile will sit. Sekile, starting lineup today for the first time in his DePaul career.
Full court pressure by DePaul. Pressure bothered Providence the other night against Marquette. They struggled with it. And it looks like they're struggling a little bit tonight.
Good defense there from Darrell McDonald. Nearly knocked it away from Cotton. The last touch by the DePaul sophomore. So Providence retains possession roughly 2 minutes in.
What DePaul is going to miss also is Charles McKinney's their best on-ball defender. With him being out, Cotton's going to have a field day if he puts it on the floor and does what he can.
Fortune the miss from the corner. He struggled with his shot the other night in Milwaukee. As Marquette beat Providence. Now a steal from Cotton, but could not corral it. And McDonald retains possession for DePaul. Shot clock did not reset. Here's Hamilton inside, but first he walked. Third turnover on DePaul. Saw Oliver Purnell early. There is the head coach for Friars, Ed Cooley on Providence. Two-time high school player of the year in the state of Rhode Island, 3rd year at Providence. In fact, he's 1 win shy of his 50th win as head coach of the Friars basketball team.
He was a great hire by Bob Driscoll. Providence guy all the way.
Layup up and good for Kadeem Batts. Out of the foul, no whistle. Going back to your point about Cooley, in a recent article he said, I was a Friar fan at birth.
Ed is the best.
Hamilton, pretty move, and finishes with the right hand. Freshman from here in Chicago, Whitney Young, high school. His fortune across the timeline. His pull-up jumper is good. Sophomore from Hampton, Virginia, Josh Fortune. His first bucket today.
Both teams are pressing. Both teams are trying to force turnovers in the backcourt, slow momentum in the front court. Providence did a great job of attacking that full court pressure.
McDonald's pull-up is good. McDonald averaging just 5 points per game in the starting lineup again today. A second start and a steal. Young has it, had it knocked away by Fortune. And here's Henton. Now to Cotton, 3-on-1. The bounce to Henton with the left hand and scores.
Classic fast break. Drew the defender, bounce pass, made it easy for his teammate.
Henson coming off an 18-point game against Marquette. Keep in mind, all 18 came in the second half.
Yeah, he was a no-show in the first half.
Edwin McGee on the drive. And then a foul going to be called on Marrero, trying to get it back from Batts. And his first foul.
I think what Oliver Purnell is trying to do is get some sort of offense off his defense with the press. They're trapping in the backcourt, hoping to get a little bit of momentum off some deflections so they don't have to grind it out in the half court with their three starters out.
He comes out for DePaul. R.J. Currington, a 15-point game last week against Seton Hall, checks in for the first time for the Blue Demons. Henton fires for three, knocks it down. He missed all 5 of his three-point attempts on Thursday. Buries his first today.
This guy is a junkyard dog that can also score. That's a great combination to have in your first recruit.
Providence 6 of 8 from the field as a team. Shot rejected inside, loose on the floor. Young gets it back. The contact, no, but a foul. That will take us to a timeout here in Chicago. Cotton, Henton, busy early on today. But Dante Henton also busy from beyond the arc. Providence up by 8 early on in Chicago. Well, Dante Henton, Kevin, we focus on him at the top. Great start for him so far against DePaul.
Well, they went to him on the first play on a set play. He scores in transition. He knocked down a 3 already off of great penetration by Bryce Cotton. This is the kind of game he needs to have all the time if it's going to take pressure off Cotton and give him a secondary scorer that can come up big.
Henson and the Friars as a team. You see the numbers in their loss in Milwaukee to Marquette on Thursday. You were there for that one. 14 points the entire half against the Golden Eagles, yet roughly 5 minutes in today, already 13.
And in person, it seemed like less, Corey, to be honest with you.
Young at the line, shooting 2.
The start for DePaul's bad because of the 4 turnovers. It's led to 2 baskets already. They got to take care of the ball and make sure they get a shot every time.
Young, a 68% free throw shooter, makes a pair there. That's a 6-point game. Todd now picked up by Marrero, and he beats him. Had it knocked away by Marrero. The steal. Here's Young. Finds Marrero. Numbers for DePaul. On the drive. Can't finish. And Henton the rebound.
All the way to the rim. Just couldn't get it over the top of the rim with that left hand.
Roser sets the screen. Now Harris. He pops for 3 and knocks it down. Hot shooting continues for Providence early on today.
Harris has a chance to really be a fine player. He's long, he's athletic, plays different spots.
Currington misses the 3. Long rebound to Fortune and a steal. McDonald pulls up at the free throw line. All loose, and Fortune gets it back for Providence. Harris made that 3 a moment ago. Henton wide open look for 3. Harris put back, no. Still loose. And DePaul basketball, it's Young.
There's an example of Harris. He's just got to dunk that ball. He's right there. He's got to mature as a player, get stronger, and be more explosive. That should have been a dunk. Easy basket.
Averaging 13 points per game is Tyler Harris. His brother Tobias plays for the Orlando Magic. Hamilton at by DeRozier. And rejected and a foul. Hamilton, the freshman, draws the contact, and DeRozier picks up his second foul.
Pretty good job here by DeRozier with his hands up. Hamilton goes through the contact. Not a lot of contact. I don't know if I call that one. I thought DeRozier did a nice job. Tommy Hamilton's got to have a big day for these guys to have a chance to win.
This is DePaul's first game in a week. Blue Demons fell at Seton Hall 86-69 last Saturday. In that game, Hamilton 5 points in 22 minutes. Recovering from a bruised sternum that he suffered against Xavier. Substitutions for DePaul. Marrero comes out. Donald out. McGee back in. And Sekile back in as well for DePaul.
This is a chance for some of these DePaul players that all probably thought they should be playing more. Now they're getting an opportunity to prove themselves, so they have to be excited about this today. They got to embrace it, and they got to play their butts off and try to win this game.
Hamilton on the bench, and Sandy Marchuch in. Meanwhile, for Providence, Lee Goldsboro is in for the first time, and DeRozier sits. You know, Providence not a very deep team, as Cotton breaks the pressure with the left hand and scores. He's got 4.
That was a great job of breaking full court pressure. They went away from Cotton, hit the big man, right back to Cotton for an easy basket.
McGee open look for 3, rattled out. Currington had the rebound knocked away by Cotton. It'll stay with DePaul with 13:05 to play.
See here, they hit Bats in the middle. Cotton plays off Bats, takes it right to the rim, 2-on-1. That is a perfect dead ball fast break against the press.
Doug having trouble, and just to call time. And we'll step aside from the All-State Arena. 13:05 to play first half. Providence by 10. Well, from the crew that brings you America's #1 pregame show comes Fox Football Daily with all the news, opinions, and insight you need on the NFL and college football. Fox Football Daily weeknights 6 p.m. Eastern only on Fox Sports 1. Young for 3. And Bats boxing out Marchuch. And it's Providence basketball. Friars by 10.
It's important for DePaul to get in the paint more than they are. They're settling for jump shots. They got to get in the paint, try to get to the foul line. Especially when you're limited scoring-wise, you got to use that foul line to your advantage.
And speaking of points in the paint, conversely, that's what Providence has done so far today. 12-2 in the paint, but there's a 3 from Harris from beyond the arc.
I know Ed Cooley and his staff and everybody's just waiting for Harris to explode and become a superstar-type player instead of just a regular role player. He's got the ability to do it.
Sorry, Kevin, a 33% three-point shooter knocks down his second today. And the Friars with their biggest lead at 13. Young on the drive, and the finish inside. Pretty play by Young.
If DePaul's going to be successful on the offensive end, they've got to get to the rim, force contact, get easy baskets.
Young now with 5. The step back. Long 2 is good for Cotton.
I'm not sure how Arizona let him get out of Tucson, Arizona. Second leading scorer in the Big East.
Meanwhile, contact inside, offensive foul. Bats was there. Sekile will be charged with the charge. Cotton, impressive early on. So is Providence up by 13. Early on over DePaul. Bryce Cotton busy so far today. And let me ask you, Kevin, your West Coast ties, how did Cotton lead the West Coast, head east to play his collegiate ball?
You know, he wasn't highly recruited. I think maybe had 1 or 2 scholarship offers. Probably at the time, Arizona didn't need a point guard. And usually local kids in Tucson aren't thought of to be, you know, outstanding players. Look how he's developed through the years, from 4 points to 20.5. Give Ed Cooley and Bryce Cotton both credit for being that good.
Loose ball on the floor. McGee has it, and finally DePaul corrals it. Turnover Providence. Here's Currington along the baseline, short, and bats the rebound, and Providence looks to run. Here is Cotton. He'll pull up. Nobody stops the ball. His three is short, and Currington the rebound.
That's his shot. You know, a lot of guys, that would be too early in the clock, but Ed Cooley has great confidence in that kid to shoot that.
McDonald splits defenders and knocks in the floater. Now Harris to Fortune, and he walked. Fifth turnover. Fortune and the Friars give it back to DePaul with 10:49 to play in the opening half.
This is what DePaul has to do. Get in the paint, splits the pick and roll, 8-foot shot. They got to keep going at the basket, keep going at the rim with force. DePaul's pressure is bothering Providence. They've turned it over 3 times versus full court pressure.
Sandy Marchuch. Now McGee, open look for 3 from the corner. And Batts position inside. No, that was Harris, excuse me, with the rebound. And now here's Batts. Catches on the run. In the paint. No, but a foul.
You know, right now with some of their best players out, DePaul can't expect to be great offensively, but they can't give up easy baskets in transition. They've got to defend better. Talent is one thing, but playing hard and defending and getting back in transition is another.
Dean Batts at the free throw line, a 74% free throw shooter, and the first one falls out. As a team, Providence leads the Big East. No longer alone atop the country in free throw shooting percentage after missing a few on Thursday in Milwaukee, but overall, Providence a very good free throw shooting team.
I don't think I'd want to fight Kadeem.
As he splits 2
that
there.
dude is big, isn't he?
Well, who would you want to fight? Hope not me.
I prefer fighting you to Kadeem.
Okay.
That's for sure. That'd be a 2-hit fight. He'd hit me and I'd hit the floor.
Inside here is Marchuch. Had it rejected by Batts. And then Marrero gets it back. Can't finish. And Henton pulls it down for Providence and a foul. And Marchuch will pick up the personal.
It's a tough possession for DePaul. They're right at the rim twice. Couldn't finish. They're doing the right things offensively. It's just finishing around the rim.
Yeah, it's not like DePaul has not had some looks inside. They've had a chance for some layups.
They're doing the right things. It's just right now they got to finish a little better at the rim.
As a team, DePaul 4-15 shooting to start the game. And a whistle away from the ball, and this is going to be a foul on Kadeem Batts. That's his second. Let's see if Ed Cooley will go to his bench. He will. Batts will come out. And Carson DeRozier is back in for the Friars.
You know, if you're Ed Cooley, you got to say to your senior, I'm sure he's going to, you got one already. We only play 6 or 7 guys anyway. You can't get a second foul on a moving screen. That's just an unforgivable play.
We were talking earlier about Ed Cooley's best player, Bryce Cotton, and some numbers he has put up this season. Another intriguing number that Ed made mention of when I visited him before the game today, the fact that he's only picked up 24 personal fouls in now 22 games.
Well, he knows he's got to play 40 minutes a game. So I'm sure they've had the discussion, whatever you do, don't foul. And he's been able to play every minute.
There's an easy look inside. Good pass. Marrero to finish.
That's 4 times in a row DePaul's gotten right to the rim. They're playing correctly on the offensive end. They're just going to finish, play with force.
Fortune open look for 3 from up top. And McGee the rebound. Now McDonald off the crossover and the steal. Fortune. The pick, the feed to Harris. No, but a foul.
Providence really runs the ball well on turnovers and missed shots. When they get it in Cotton's hands or one of their guards in the middle, they really get out and run and fill those lanes. Harris did a great job of coming down this left lane. Needed to make it a three-point play.
That was on McGee, his first. Now 5 team fouls on DePaul, 14 fouls on Providence. And Tommy Hamilton back in for the Blue Demons. Sit. Mentioned a moment ago the free throw shooting numbers. This is across the country where Providence ranks. 10 of 17 the other night in Milwaukee because of that. A virtual tie with Oregon, 78.5% of the NCAA.
That's an unbelievable percentage. I mean, team-wise in college, for your team to shoot in the high 70s, that doesn't happen very often anymore.
Harris himself, a good free throw shooter, 85%. He makes 2. He has 8 points. And Goldsboro is going to be charged with a foul. As Young fell down, he gets helped up from his teammates, but Lee Goldsboro picks up a personal foul.
It's right here. Goldsboro's trying to do the right thing, trying to move his feet. He's late on the show, doesn't get his chest in front of the ball, and when you don't get your chest in front of the ball, you're going to get a foul.
Foul on Goldsboro. Clock under 20. Hamilton along the baseline, stepped out of bounds, lost it. Turnover, Blue Demons. Providence basketball with 8:01 to play. Turnover number 7 for Oliver Purnell's Blue Demons.
Too many at home. If you're going to turn the ball over at home, it gets harder and harder to win. They want to take care of the ball. They went to the right guy in the post, Tommy Hamilton. Just didn't take care of it.
Aaron pass by Cotton and a turnover. 2-on-2. McDonald in the paint. Right hand. No, fell out. And Goldsboro the rebound. He needs some help, and there is Cotton. He'll push it all the way. Finds a trailing Fortune with the left hand and scores. And Oliver Purnell calls time. 30-second timeout with 7:26 to play, and Providence now leads by 14.
Watch Bryce Cotton. He accelerates, gets deep, draws the whole defense, makes the right play. Never got out of control, played off 2 feet, a jump stop, easy basket for his teammate.
Cotton now 3 assists to go with 6 points. Harris has 8. Fortune had the layup a moment ago. He has 4. Cooley, and you see what he's done, Kevin, since taking over the Friar program beginning the 2011-2012 season. Providence has not been to the NCAA tournament since the 03-04 campaign, and right now, I'd say a bubble team here midway through the conference portion of the schedule.
Yeah, they got a chance, and I think Ed Cooley, and I said this, Bob Driscoll hired the right guy for the Providence job. He lived there, he grew up there, he played at Central High School. He lives and breathes Providence, so he's a perfect fit. He's going to get it done in a big way. If Chris Dunn wasn't hurt, they'd be a top 25 team this year.
Not just Dunn, but also Providence without 2 other players that Ed Cooley felt were going to be impactful players this year. And Brandon Austin and Rodney Bullock. Bullock suspended for the year, and Austin transferred to Oregon. And Cotton gets the roll. He has 8. Lead is 16.
Now we're talking about Ed Cooley. He grew up when Marvin Barnes was there, so he loved it from day one. Like he said, he was born to be a Friars coach and a Friars fan.
Hamilton had it knocked away, but right there was R.J. Currington. His first bucket of the ball game. Ed Cooley said when he was a kid, he would go to camps. Rick Pitino was coaching at that point at Providence. Here's Cotton. Popped for 3. And McGee the rebound for DePaul. Young on the drive. He lost it. Goldsboro. Cotton finds Fortune. A 2 from the corner. Fortune has 6. It's a 16-point Providence lead.
Bryce Cotton is making all the right decisions in open court plays. Finding his teammates, shooting when it's open. He's been really, really good at the beginning of this game.
Hamilton has position, but the rejection from Fortune. Hamilton got it back, good, and a foul.
We're going to see right here. Great job by Bryce Cotton. Finds Fortune on the right wing. Doesn't go too deep. He's making
possible candidates.
I mean, that's 4 really good freshmen. The guy right there, Billy Garrett, is a guy that I think should be freshman of the year. Who knows how many more games he misses or if he has enough stats to do that. But he's been a little bit of a surprise. He's really overachieved.
Garrett has been named the Big East Freshman of the Week already 4 times this year.
That's pretty good.
He's on the 2nd straight game. Missed the game a week ago at Seton Hall as well with an illness. Unable to go today.
He was at practice yesterday. He did work out, so it looks like he's on his way back.
Providence shooting around 65% from the field so far today. Henton walked. 8th turnover. Charge to the Friars, and Providence has a team averaging 12 per game. 8 already here in the first half.
Both teams have 8. We got 16 already. It's been a little sloppy. Providence's 2nd game in less than 48 hours. And DePaul without some of their better players.
Hamilton had it rejected by Fortune and saved in the corner by Currington. And he was able to knock it off. A Providence player looked like caught in the corner, and it'll stay with DePaul with 16 to shoot.
Fortune has done this twice in a row to Hamilton. Come down off his man, not hugging his man, playing team defense, getting the block from behind.
It's already 6 blocks for Providence as a team here this afternoon.
Paul's got to go. They're up against it.
5 to shoot for Young. He'll drive with 2 in the paint, forced it, and I don't think Hamilton got it off. He did not. It'll be a shot clock violation on DePaul. Providence basketball.
It's unfortunate for DePaul. They got down against the clock. Providence switched the ball screen, forced Young to take one more dribble, got in trouble.
Henton bounces inside. Goldsboro with the right hand. And Hamilton the rebound. Goldsboro playing some key minutes right now. Both Batts and DeRosa on the bench with 2 fouls. Meanwhile, Currington gets it inside. The pass from Young. He's got 4.
This is where Providence gets hurt a little bit with a lack of depth. It helps them in their chemistry because everybody knows their role. But when you have to go deeper into your bench than you want to, sometimes you don't get as much production.
Young doing a nice job defending Cotton, now off the screen. Cotton with 10. Goldsboro open. Contact, no whistle. And the save from Hamilton. Young spins in the corner. Currington for 3. Here come the Blue Demons. DePaul with an 8. Blue Demons fired up, and Providence takes time.
Really good job by DePaul finding an open man underneath. Providence got mixed up a little bit defensively. And then a great job in transition of making the right decision. Wide open 3. Blue Demons right back in this game.
7-0 DePaul run. Currington buries his 5th 3 of the year. 8-point game. You saw the pass there from Brandon Young, who has to assume that point guard spot yet again with Billy Garrett Jr. unable to play. Currington, Kevin knocked down that 3 a moment ago. You see what he did a week ago against Seton Hall at 15 points in 1 game. Before that, first 8 games, only 10.
Well, he's taking advantage of his opportunity. And when you get a chance to play and you produce, even when guys come back that are suspended and hurt, he'll get more time. He's earned it.
Currington, a 6'4 freshman from Dyer, Indiana. Henton in the paint with the left hand and scores. He's got 9.
When Hinton gets guarded by bigger guys, he's got Forrest Harris on him. He just puts his head down and drives it.
Good feed at Currington, but he was fouled. So Currington will shoot 2. Hinton and the Friars still up by 10 with 3:12 to play in the first half here in Chicago. Just outside Chicago. 3:12 to play, first half. Providence by 10, 34-24. The foul was on LaDante Hinton, his first. Well, 17 fouls on the Friars. R.J. Currington shooting 2 here. DePaul in the bonus the rest of the way here in the opening half.
That's twice LaDante has gotten back cut by Currington right to the basket. He had no vision on him at all. Gave up 4 points in the last 3 possessions because of that.
Harris. Down to Hinton. Cotton open off the screen, pops for 3 and knocks it down. How do you defend that?
That's a great set play by Ed Cooley out of a timeout. An ATO after timeout play got Cotton a pin down after a little rip screen, wide open 3.
He has 11 points, buries his first 3 of the afternoon. Now Young.
He gets that shot off quick, doesn't he, Corey?
Forrest Robinson, a deep 3. Robinson, appearing for the 11th time this year for DePaul, played just 8 minutes on Saturday, and he buries his first 3. Hinton skips it all the way on the right for Fortune, and he was bumped. This will be a foul on Darrell McDonald. Providence not yet in the bonus. That's now team foul number 6 on the Blue Demons. So the first on McDonald.
Let's take a look at how Cotton gets this 3. Goes off a big, small screen. Now he sets a screen and then comes right off the pin down by the big. Wide open 3. Bad recognition by DePaul.
Cotton a miss. Harris easy offensive rebound. The putback good and a foul.
When you're playing short-handed, you just can't let this happen. Easy rebound and the foul. They have no margin for error with the talent they have today. You can't give up opportunities like that.
Harris now at 10 points. Marchuch, his second foul. And with that, Providence is now in the bonus. 17 fouls on DePaul. And Harris completes the 3-point play.
That's the double bubble.
Teammate Cotton with 11.
Give up the offensive rebound and foul. 3-point play.
Young. Now Currington. Young. Crossover on Goldsboro. Another missed layup. Rebound tapped out. Saved by Fortune into the hands to DePaul. This is Currington on the floor grabbing the ball. Stay with DePaul.
You know, for coaches, that's a great hustle play. The only trouble is to save it to the other team. Got to try to save it toward the sideline so it's not an easy opportunity. Great hustle. No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah, the foul was called on Cotton as he collided with Currington. First foul on Cotton, so 1-1 here for Currington.
Currington's really given them a shot in the arm. He's playing with great energy. He's on the floor. He's getting to the basket. He's playing with a live body. It's really helped DePaul's energy.
3 of 3 at the line so far today as Currington make it 4-4. So far in this game today, R.J. Currington has taken 4 free throws. Entering this game, he had taken 4 all year.
He's making a case for playing time. His parents are probably saying, why has he not been playing more anyway? What's going on here?
9-point game. Harris around McGee and scores. Harris has 13.
That was just too easy. They threw it right to the basket on the second pass. Harris is able to wheel, deal, get an easy play.
13 points for Harris. That's his season average. Under a minute to play. Wide open three from the corner. Currington stays hot. He's got 14 points.
Tell you what happened. Ed Cooley tried to put him in a zone at the end of the clock. Missed assignment, going from man to zone. It's tough to do. I think Ed's probably blaming himself on that one.
Fortune. Henton. The answer for three. No. Long rebound. It's going to be DePaul basketball.
DePaul is doing a great job of upping their energy as the half's gone on. These are guys that haven't played a lot of minutes, haven't scored a lot of points, but they're playing as a group. And as a group, you have a chance to win.
Shot clock is off. 15 seconds to play.
Can't give Providence another opportunity. Can't foul on the offensive rebound.
Young with 5. Robinson for 3 from the corner. Forrest Robinson knocks down his second 3. Providence calls time. Just over a second to play in the half, and DePaul's within 5.
You know, back-to-back, we're going to see here wide open looks. Providence tried to jump in a zone. Wide open 3 for Currington. You can see Ed there. He's saying, now that was my fault. That was on me. And now another one, short closeout, wide open. He's hit 2 of them.
For DePaul, you lose so much offense. And you don't have Cleveland Melvin suspended again today indefinitely. Billy Garrett Jr. also unable to go due to a sickness. So who's stepping up for DePaul so far? Well, Forrest Robinson, number 1. And, of course, R.J. Currington, who had 15 points against Seton Hall last week, has 14 here in the first half.
You know, it's really good to see. I'm glad to see these guys get an opportunity to prove who they are. It can only help DePaul's depth as the season goes on if some of these guys can develop some confidence.
There is Currington, to Bryce Cotton. Play halted right now for a moment. The officials taking a look to make sure that the proper time is on the game clock. And they're going to add another second and a half. We go from 1.3 to 2.8.
There's enough time to get a shot now. And I think that's the right call by the officials.
Half-court pass to Goldsboro. Then trying to feed it back. It comes to Hamilton, and it will not count. It will not count. His teammates telling Hamilton, you got the ball, shoot it. He went for the dunk, and because of that, it will not count. But still, DePaul, double-digit deficit for most of the first half, but within 5, Kevin, at the break.
Another turnover by Providence, unforced. Tommy's got to know the clock. Just didn't have quite enough time for the dunk.
Yeah, DePaul defended that play well. It's a 5-point game at the break. Halftime score here at the All-State Arena. Providence 42, DePaul 37. After these messages, we'll head back to Los Angeles for a Fox College Hoops halftime update. First half numbers here from the All-State Arena. You see the field goal shooting, terrific first half overall for Providence, but DePaul got back in this game. Not much inside, but shot the 3-ball pretty well.
Well, both teams have turned it over too much. You know, that's all there is to it. It's been a sloppy game. DePaul has got to get their paint defense better, quit giving up easy baskets, and open transition shots.
5-point game at the break. Providence and DePaul. Blue Demons 2-6 in league play. Friars are 5-3. 5-point game at the break. The second half when we come back on Fox College Hoops. The lakefront. Leading scorers from the first half. You see Currington a game-high 14. As for Providence, Harris 13, Cotton 11. You see Kadeem Batts 3 points. Only 7 minutes in the first half. He was on the bench early, picked up a couple of fouls. see how Harris and Currington respond here in the second half. 5-point game at the break.
Providence has got to come out and respond to the energy DePaul showed down the stretch of the first half. DePaul's challenge, can they keep that energy? Are they going to have a letdown? This will be a really important first 5 minutes of the half.
Oliver Purnell going with a unique 5 here to begin the second half. 2 players that came up big, both Forrest Robinson, who has the ball now, and Currington on the floor to begin the second half in a 5-point game. Hamilton around Batts scores.
A great first possession by DePaul. Patience, got it inside. Tommy Hamilton, great with the left hand.
Hamilton has 8 points. It's a 1-possession game. Fortune, good D in the first half. Now to Harris, cut off along the baseline. Now to Batts with the right hand, fell out. And Robinson rips it away. Here's McDonald. He beats Cotton. Baseline, the reverse. Everything was awesome except for the finish.
That would have been a highlight on any reel. That was a heck of a play. They're just playing harder than Providence right now.
Matt Cooley felt his team, and using his words, they were punched in the mouth in Milwaukee in the first half on Thursday.
I was there. They were.
Todd missed the 3. Harris had position inside, and a foul's going to be called on DePaul.
This is a great job by Tommy Hamilton. Batts already has 2 fouls. Can't foul. Wasn't really aggressive. Thomas Hamilton went right at him with the left hand. He's talented.
There's Batts. Now he squares up Hamilton inside. Might have been partially blocked by Robinson. He got it back. Misses again. And now McDonald has it. Here's Currington. He'll take it inside. In traffic, it scores, and DePaul's within 1.
R.J. Currington's telling everybody to join him. His teammates, the crowd. He wants everybody involved.
Cotton, a late decision to pass it, and he turns it over. DePaul can take the lead with the bucket here. In the corner, McDonald for 3. Henton the rebound.
DePaul did carry that energy into the second half. Providence has to respond.
Open lane for Cotton and scores. Mistake defensively for DePaul. Cotton is 13.
That was Matador. Ole. Go ahead, Bryce. Go in there and see if you can make this layup. No, nobody's going to touch you. Nobody's even going to move in your way.
See that DePaul run going back to the end of the first half. Providence led at 1 point by 16. Now a steal. Batts knocked it away. Here's Cotton. Numbers for Providence. Cotton with the right hand, no, and a foul. This will be on Robinson, and Cotton will shoot 2.
You know, both teams are doing a good job of getting to the basket. Currington draws everybody here. Makes a great play, an acrobatic play to finish. And then Cotton is like, okay, oh, Tommy, move out of the way. Let me lay this in, please. Thank you. Just too easy there.
Had Hamilton leaning right. And Cotton went around him, and Cotton misses the free throw. It's a rare miss. 84% free throw shooter. Roser in. He also limited in the first half with 2 fouls. And Kadeem Batts will sit.
I think Ed wants to talk to Kadeem a little bit. He's missed 3 point blanks. He's getting a little frustrated. You know, I think it's a good substitution. Get him over there, talk to him a little bit, pat him on the behind, say get back in there because they're going to need him.
And an errant pass. Currington forced it, and DePaul gives it back. Here's Cotton. He'll take it all the way. The quick step and the layup. Cotton has 16 points, and DePaul takes a timeout. The Blue Demons within 1, but here comes Cotton, and the Friars answering back. Cotton Now with a team-high 16 points, and the Friars lead by 6 early on second half. Just more than 3 minutes gone by second half. Providence on top by 6, 47-41. Bryce Cotton, 16 points. He's come out on fire here in the second half, but really taking advantage, Kevin, of some mistakes defensively by DePaul.
Well, it looks a little bit like a layup line for Bryce. Right here, Tommy Hamilton doesn't help on the high pick and roll. Great read, splits. You got to get more help from other people. They got to get in the lane and get in front. And here, Brandon Young, talk about a blow-by. He might have a burn on his face. When he turned on the burners, he didn't even try to get in front of him.
See the numbers on Cotton. Second leading scorer in the Big East. Only trailing Doug McDermott of Creighton. The only loss Creighton has in league play this year came at the hands of Cotton and the Friars.
Cotton's doing what he's supposed to do. They're struggling. He's trying to take over the game.
Robinson hit 2 in the first half, make it 3 for the game. Forrest Robinson with his third 3, and it's a 3-point game.
Doesn't look like DePaul's going away today. They fought hard. Every time Providence makes a little run, they bounce back.
Dean Batts back in for Providence.
Batts hasn't done anything. He's got to show up somewhere sometime.
Henson off the screen, pop for 3, and Young the rebound. Young will lead the charge up the floor, and a foul. So Brandon Young will shoot 2. Foul was on Josh Fortune. That's his first. And we have a timeout here in Chicago. DePaul at the line shooting 2, 3-point game. .54 to play second half. DePaul within 3. Brandon Young shooting 2 free throws once play resumes. And you might notice the special pin you can see on the left lapel of Oliver Purnell's jacket. Ed Cooley also wearing that special pin today, and as are many coaches. Around college basketball today, Autism Speaks, raising awareness on the
That's
autism.
Mike Jackson right there. He's on Ed's staff. His son, Mylan Jackson, who's 12 years old, had autism. Pat Scarry from Towson State and Tommy Harrion from Marshall started up the whole program. More than 100 coaches are involved with it. It's a great cause.
There's that special pin you see on the left side of his jacket. Magnanimous gesture by all those throughout the game today. As Young splits 2 free throws, 2-point game. Providence with the ball.
We got a good one going here. Paul's really fought hard every time they've gotten behind.
Paul doing so without 3 starters. Henson in the paint with the left hand and gets the roll. He's got 11, and the lead is full.
Every time he catches, with Forrest Robinson closing out on him, who's a big, he just drives him hard to his left and gets to the rim.
Young, the spin. Might have been partially blocked, and a foul is going to be called on Henson.
We're going to see it right here. Robinson's closing out. He's too big to guard him. Hinton just puts it down to his left and drives hard. Robinson's got to close out a little bit shorter and use his length.
Henson charged with his second foul. Both teams have 2 team fouls.
You know, Brandon Young's had a pretty quiet afternoon. He's starting to get a little more involved right now. He's got to get to the foul line and make those. Senior leader, playing the point for him with Billy Garrett out. He needs to convert at the foul line.
And he misses both. 6 points for Young. He does have 6 assists. Now he's coming off a 23-point game against Seton Hall, but 0 assists.
Well,
his last game.
2 missed free throws, Corey. He's like a turnover. I mean, you just give the ball back to the other team.
Harris taking advantage of the size and scores and a foul. He established his position right away on McGee. Providence found him, and Harris at the line for a three-point try.
This is a great job of finding a mismatch. 6'9" against 6'5", goes right through him. Got to get in the weight room, McGee. Get a little stronger or get in front, one or the other. Harris has a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play.
Makes the free throw, now 16 points. He's connected on all 4 of his free throws today.
He's had a great game. He's really, really played well. He's got ability.
And Harris really struggled on Thursday in Milwaukee. Just 1 field goal in 10 attempts. Young can't hit, bats the rebound, had it knocked away. And Harris picks it up, and now Cotton. Inside, Henton, no, but a foul. And McGee will pick up his third.
You know,
DePaul's playing hard, but they still give up too many easy baskets. Hinton just beats them down the floor. I mean, it just can't happen that easily. You got to point and talk in transition, find a man, take away those easy baskets, no open threes, contested twos.
Sandy Marchuch returns for DePaul, and Tommy Hamilton IV will grab a seat. These two teams will meet again in 2 weeks at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence. And the lead is back to 9.
Providence is showing a little three-quarters court, not super aggressive trap, just trying to slow DePaul down.
Currington gave up the 3, took it to the rack. Tried to dunk it down, but he was fouled. This is going to be on Harris. That's his second, 13 foul.
I like the play by Currington. I didn't see a foul. I thought it was a blocked shot. But Currington is even overly aggressive trying to get to the rim. I really like how he's playing today.
That's his first miss at the free throw line, now 4 of 5. Oliver Purnell's Blue Demons has a team now 10 of 16 at the free throw line so far today. Currington, 16 points, already a career high.
They got to be better at the line. They can't split. They can't go 0 for 2. When you're challenged to score, you need all those, especially at home.
Cotton with a team high 16 points. The bounce to Henton in traffic, and he was fouled.
I really like what Ed Cooley's doing with his team offensively. He's doing a great job of getting Hinton versus Robinson, whether it be in a pick and roll, a wing ISO, a post up. He's got speed going at size, which usually wins.
Robinson charged with the foul. He has 2. Henson, 81% free throw shooter, and he splits 2.
It's interesting. Harris is 6'8" or 6'9". Hinton's 6'4" or 5", and they're playing Hinton at the 4 spot to get a mismatch on Robinson every time.
Young, wide open look for 3. Those struggles continue. There's Cotton. Harris trailing. Inside with the right hand. No, but a foul.
Tyler Harris has the potential to be a star in college basketball. Puts it on the floor. Did it that time with his weak hand. All the way to the basket. Almost got the three-point play.
Well, it's just a sophomore. Dix Hills, New York. Entering this game today, Tyler Harris, not just third in the Big East in free throw shooting percentage, but also leads the Flyers overall in field goal shooting percentage.
I just keep thinking he can do more. He's got all the tools. It's probably a case of just getting more mature. Might want to get in the weight room. Doesn't look overly strong. That'll improve his game.
The 10-2 Providence run. Friars back up by 11. DePaul at one point this half was within a point. Robinson sets the screen for McGee. Shot clock is under 10 for Young. Got away with a push-off there and scores with the left hand. Looked like he kind of shoved Bats away.
I think he did, and he must be stronger than I think he is if he pushed Bats out of the way. That was a great finish at the basket in traffic.
Young has 8. Bats wasn't ready. Fortune forced that pass. He was trying to set up on Marchuch. Now Young in the corner. Currington open for 3. Game high 19 for Currington. Buries his third 3. 6-point Providence lead.
That was a great find by Brandon Young in transition. Perfect decision.
Bats can't hit. And the rebound to Currington, and Harris fouled him.
You know, DePaul's got a chance right here. You're going to say push off, moves Bats out of the way, reverses court, lays it in left-handed, and then Brandon Young does a great job of finding Currington in transition for a wide-open 3. Currington's just having fun. He's glad to be off the bench. He doesn't want to go back.
Game high 20 points. The foul on Providence, by the way. Tyler Harris, he now has 3. McDonald back in for DePaul. Currington cut off. Now the senior Brandon Young. Shot clock is at 5. In the paint, Robinson open look for 3. It was short. Currington the rebound. No foul, and here comes Cotton. He'll push it with the right hand. Fell out of bounds. It'll be DePaul basketball. So a timeout here at the Allstate Arena. DePaul with the ball. Ed Cooley not happy. His Friars, though, still lead by 6. 11:48 to play, second half. Here at the Allstate Arena, Providence 57, DePaul 51. Second half storylines for DePaul so far, Kevin. They were searching for some offense today without 3 starters. Forrest Robinson and, of course, R.J. Currington have really stepped up.
Well, they're 6 of 14 on 3s. They're up on bench points, 31-0 on Providence. Now, Providence doesn't play many guys. It helps your chemistry at times to have fewer guys. But today, DePaul's bench has really taken it to Providence's bench.
Providence relying on getting production almost on a game-in and game-out basis from its starters. As the Friars starters roughly combined for about 90% of the overall team offense this year.
That's a huge number. I mean, very few teams can say that.
Donald off, fake, tough 2. Look at Henton Sky for the rebound. He's got 5 rebounds to go with his 14 points.
Hinton just puts his helmet on and goes to work, doesn't he? On the boards, defensively. He does it all.
Now Cotton off the screen from Bats. Finds him in the paint. No, and a blocking foul will be called on Currington. 2-man game there between Cotton and Bats. And 2 free throws upcoming here for Kadeem Bats. First foul on Currington.
Providence runs a ton of pick and rolls. Just a little bit late, just moving a little bit under Bats. If he steps up just a little bit more, he gets the charge. But it's the right call. Bats needs a couple free throws to get him going.
Another miss. 3 points for the game. He's 1 of 3 at the foul line here today. He's
been a no-show for the most part. He needs to finish strong, help his team win the last 11 minutes.
Here's Young. Hamilton. Inside to Sandy Marchus. The Purdue transfer scores.
DeRozier just caved in. He might as well run off the court. He just let him back him right to the rim.
Currington giving Henton no space to work with. And now Henton gets it in the paint. Contact, no, and foul. Chooch has both arms in the air saying, what I do wrong, but he's going to be charged with the foul. And that's going to be his third.
One thing about Hinton, he plays with such force. He almost forces the contact. He goes right at the rim, drew a little post up there with a smaller guy, took advantage of it.
It's now 18 fouls on DePaul. Henton has 15 points. Conversely, the Friars have committed 4 team fouls thus far here in the second half. And Henton makes a pair. And with that, the Providence lead is back to 7.
Let's see what Providence does. They're in the bonus early. They're 3 away from putting DePaul in the bonus. If I'm them, I'm going right at the basket every play.
Currington for 3. And that's the rebound. Bryce Cotton with 16 points. Inside to DeRozier.
Great play by a senior point guard to make the right decision off the pick and roll and the right find for an easy basket.
4 assists to go with those 16 points. DeRozier with the dunk. Hamilton trying to answer, and he was fouled by DeRozier. A couple free throws upcoming here for Tommy Hamilton, the fourth.
Watch Bryce Cotton. Draws 2, gets the big guy to step up. It's a wide open dunk when you have to step up to give help off a pick and roll.
As Kevin said, Cotton leads Big East minutes played. He's averaging just over 39 overall this season. You include conference games, he's over 40 minutes per game.
See if DePaul can cash in here. They're 2 of 6 this half on free throws. They got to make them. They need almost all of them to have a chance to win this game down the stretch.
Hamilton 8 points, shooting 2. There's Edwin McGee returning for DePaul. R.J. Currington. Sit for the first time here in the second half. Currington, game high 20. Hamilton splits 2. Marchus picked up his 3rd foul a moment ago. He will sit.
Full court pressure by DePaul. They're denying Cotton. They're going to force somebody else to handle the ball.
A near steal by Young. Comes back, though, to Fortune. That's now Henson has it up high. Cotton, 7 to shoot. Bass sets the screen. Cotton. And he walked. Good defensive trip that time for DePaul. That forces the Providence turnover.
Donald did a great job of not giving up on the play. Pick and roll. He got halfway picked off, but he fought hard, kept coming, and forced Cotton into a turnover.
Keeley, just a quick trip on the floor. He's back on the bench. As Forrest Robinson is back in for the Blue Demons. Under 9 to play. Hamilton against DeRozier in those 3 fouls. Runs out of room. Robinson lost it. Paul Bent saying it was last touched by Providence, but it's going to be Friars basketball.
That time, DeRozier did a great job of holding his ground, taking the contact from Tommy Hamilton on the chest, and keeping his arm straight up to force a turnover.
Both teams now with 12 turnovers. Here's Henton around Robinson. Too strong. Young the rebound. He's going to push it. Young behind the back. Had it stripped by Harris. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with DePaul.
Little Harlem Globetrotter here. Would have been an unbelievable finish. 1-on-4.
And the senior from Baltimore. Averaging 15 points per game. He has 8 today. Currington back in for DePaul. McGee wasn't ready for that.
Providence went zone out of bounds, and now they're trying to get back to man-to-man.
McGee fakes the three along the baseline. No, and a foul.
A little confusion by Providence. They want to zone the out of bounds, and then when it's thrown up top, scramble around and find a man. They were a little bit late. McGee saw that, drove it hard to the rim, drew the foul.
Henton his third. Team foul number 6 now on Providence. So the next one puts DePaul in the bonus the rest of the way. 2 free throws here for Edwin McGee. Walk on, senior from Champaign. Sekile back in for the Blue Demons. Robinson will sit.
With the way the game's being called this year, whenever you're in doubt, just drive it to the rim. Try to get to the foul line. If they're going to call touch fouls, get touched.
It looks like Providence was in early, and DeRozier was. So lane violation after the McGee miss, so he'll get another chance.
You know, Providence started this game and was really sharp. Ever since the 10-minute mark in the first half, they just haven't been sharp. They've made mistakes they don't usually make and had things happen that don't usually happen to them.
With that, Paul can set up the full court pressure, which Cotton breaks. As we approach the 8-minute mark here in the second half. 6-point game. Cotton along the baseline, had it rejected by Hamilton. 3-on-3, Young. McGee for 3. That's the first 3 of the year for Edwin McGee. It's a one-possession game. Fortune. And now Cotton.
For the first time in the game, there's a little bit of pressure on Providence now. DePaul's got some momentum. They're playing hard, they're playing well. See how Providence responds.
Henton trying to answer for Providence. Short, long rebound. Comes back out to Fortune, and Cotton resets. He beats Young. Inside to Henton, too low, turnover Providence. Here's Young. McGee trailing for the tie. Got the roll, and we're even. It's a 9-0 DePaul run.
See how Providence handles this momentum by DePaul.
2-man game, Henton from Cotton. There's the answer from the Friars.
Great job by Ed Cooley. They need a basket. They go back to Hinton against a big man again. He gets a layup because of that mismatch.
Henton has 18. Matching his number from Thursday. And the Friars lost to Marquette. Here's Young. Stripped by Fortune and throws it away. Young thought he was fouled. Asking the official where was the call, did not get it. And that takes us to a break here at the Allstate Arena. DePaul right back in it once again. Edwin McGee. A couple of big threes here in the second half. And with that, DePaul within 2 with 6:06 to play. O'Neal, we thank you for joining us. Fox College Hoops on this first day of February. Well, Looking at some field goal shooting numbers so far today, Providence was terrific in the first half. Second half, though, in fact, as the first half moved along, DePaul got better. And the numbers in DePaul's favor here in the second half alone, Kevin.
Well, DePaul became the aggressor at both ends of the court to start the half, and it's carried through most of the half. Providence has to get back to getting to the paint, making plays for each other, and getting to the foul line.
Providence, 3 players in double figures. Henton, Harris, both with 18. Cotton has 16.
DePaul comes out in the zone for the first time this half. See how Providence handles that.
In the corner, Cotton for 3. Knocks it down. First team preseason All Big East selection. A big 3 from Cotton.
A great job by Providence, recognizing the zone, get it to Harris in the middle. Cotton, wide open shot.
Second 3, he has a team-high 19.
And a quiet 19, to be honest with you.
Young can't hit the reverse. Akile's put back, and he is going to be tied up. A jump ball. And the arrow will go Providence's way.
Good job again to the rim by Brandon Young. And here he comes again. That's his 3rd block. Coming from the top down, giving help to the bigs.
It's a good call. Josh Fortune with the block. And the jump ball going Providence's way. Under 5 to play. Henton cut off by Sakile, and now Cotton resets. Fortune, and the ball deflected, hit the ref's face, and he was out of bounds. So it's going to be DePaul basketball.
Did it hit him in the face?
I think it hit Tommy Chiazzi right in the face. Sure did. Got him in the upper chest, and you know, Chiazzi looked down at his feet saying, I was out of bounds.
It took him a second to figure it out, though. He had a good view of it anyway, Corey.
Yeah. So Tommy Chiazzi.
Hey, Tommy, we're coming into your living room.
Currington short of that 3-point drive. McGee hustles for the offensive rebound. Currington leaves it for Robinson. Maybe one extra pass. Hamilton to a cutting McGee. Shot rejected by Harris. And out of bounds was McGee, so it'll go Providence's way.
Great cut by McGee. Harris doesn't give up on the play. His length allows him to cover ground and catch up even though he's behind and make a clean block.
It's now 8 blocks as a team for Providence today. Four minutes to play. 5-point Providence lead. Fortune leaves it for Cotton. And a foul. And this is going to be on Young. He's got to be careful. He's been disappointed with not receiving calls on his end, and he's going to pick up the personal foul. And they take us to a timeout with 3:53 to play in the second half. Providence with the ball at the line, leading by 5. 3:53 to play in the second half. Providence on top by 5, 67-62. Bryce Cotton at the free throw line here. Once play resumes, you see his numbers today, 19.6 assists. Really not far off from his season averages in both scoring and assists. And you see the numbers he is putting up this year and where that compares in recent years. That's a pretty impressive list.
That's a pretty small group.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of these guys you can just count on. I mean, hey, Bryce, we need you to get us 20 and 5. No problem, coach. Every night. I mean, and that's what you want your senior leader to do. He's sure doing it again today.
And he misses the free throw, the front end of the 1-and-1. 5-point game. DePaul with the ball. Young to Currington in the paint. Offensive foul. Kadeem Batts was there taking the charge, and Currington. And the Blue Demons give it back to Providence.
That's a huge play by Batts. He gets set. Currington takes off. I like that call. They don't call enough charges. They rewarded the defense for a good play.
Second foul on Currington. And while Batts has not had a good offensive game, he's contributing in other ways, as we just saw there in the defensive end. And a whistle. And a foul's going to be called on DePaul. This is going to be on McDonald. And that's going to be his second. Well, the double bonus, Providence will be the rest of the way. So 2 free throws here for Bryce Cotton. 10 team fouls on DePaul.
Cotton's, not like him, missed some free throws today. Let's see if he can make them this last 4 minutes and try to wrap this up for Providence.
2 of 4 at the line is Cotton today. I asked Ed Cooley earlier, does he ever ask to come out of the game? He said no. So what if he's tired? He says, I need a breather. He said, not happening. Put your hand down and play. We'll call a timeout if you need a break.
That's exactly right.
DePaul has not hit a field goal in almost 4 minutes. Young against Henton, and the foul.
I think Brandon Young decided 4 hours ago he was going to take that shot. He made up his mind. He was getting to the rim, put it on the floor, didn't care about traffic, and got to the foul line.
Henton and Harris were there, and the foul called on Harris, who now has 4 fouls. Brandon Young knocks down the free throw. Now 5 of 9 at the line is Young. Sekile returns for DePaul. Robinson will sit. Currington comes out.
Looks like Oliver's going a little offense, defense. Robinson and Currington out of the game. 2 defensive-minded players in to trap the ball right there.
And Providence breaks the pressure. Cotton, Harris, and Henton. Cotton with 21. It's now a game high. Harris inside, shoots over McGee, can't hit. It comes down to Hamilton.
That's where Harris just needs a little more strength to finish that with a bit of contact.
Brandon Young has been more assertive here offensively in the second half. The crossover on Henton, too strong. Hamilton with a putback. 11. And it's a 1-possession game again. Cotton. Met by Sekile and Young. And now McGee fouls Henton with 16 to shoot. And that's going to be the 4th foul on McGee. And Oliver Purnell will look to his bench, and he's going to bring in some subs.
Brandon Young misses, but his penetration and his aggressiveness to the basket opened it up for Tommy Hamilton to tip it right back in with nobody around him.
Double bonus here again. Henton shooting 2. Free throw shooter, now 6 of 7 at the line is Henton today. There are the subs. Currington back in. McGee and Sekile depart. Henton has 19 for the game.
Got ourselves a game here. 4-point game, 2 minutes left. It's going to be interesting.
Young asking Robinson to clear. Hamilton sets the screen. And now Hamilton with 15 thought about it.
Mismatch.
Here's Young over Cotton. And bats the rebound.
I would have liked to have seen Brandon Young try to get to the rim at the end of the clock. He did it twice in a row. There he settles for a step-back jumper.
He's been doing that often here in the second half. Not settling for perimeter jump shots.
Yes, he has. You're right, Corey.
Oh, a near steal. Fortune has it with 12.
Don't foul. Whatever you do, don't foul.
A minute to play, 5 to shoot. Cotton, the crossover, the floater. No, but a foul.
A great defensive possession. Cotton does the right thing at the end of the clock. Tries to get to the rim. Draws the contact.
Foul on Darrell McDonald, his third. So Cotton 3 of 5 at the line today. 2 more upcoming. Up the Friars lead. And he connects on the first.
Obviously big free throws. Makes it a 2-possession game. And now 6. Gets a lot harder at 6 and 3, that's for sure.
$50 seconds to play. Harrington for 3. He fell down. DePaul bench wanted a foul. No call. Henton the rebound. And now DePaul must foul. Yet to cross the timeline. The pass deflected and a turnover. Numbers for DePaul. The lead for Young, layup. And the lead is 4. And Oliver Brunel calls a timeout with 33.3 seconds to play in a 4-point game.
I like what DePaul did. I like the fact they didn't foul. Instead of playing the foul game, they end up with a deflection, an easy basket. And now they got a little bit of hope. Ed Cooley can't be happy that his team didn't take care of the basketball in that situation.
This one winding down here today. 33.3 seconds to play, but already a few finals in. Around the Big East Conference here this afternoon. If you look at our Big East scoreboard, you see in the conference today, Seton Hall beats Xavier 68-60, and St. John's beat Marquette convincingly 74-59 in New York today. Still some games to come, including Michigan State and Georgetown. You can see that game on Fox Sports 1. Game tips off any moment now. Later on, Villanova and Temple, Big 5 matchup. Those 2 programs.
Georgetown needs a signature win to have any hope going down the stretch here of an at-large bid. So they're going to have a great opportunity today against a big-time Michigan State team. That would be a huge win for the league and for Georgetown if they could pull it off.
Georgetown overall this season 11-9, 3-6 in conference. Xavier losing today, suffering its 3rd conference loss. Creighton and Villanova have lost 1 time. Creighton 8-1, Villanova 7-1. Villanova's lone Big East loss was to Creighton. That was the Ethan Rogge shooting show.
Sure was.
Creighton's lone conference loss came to Providence.
DePaul's going to try to get a steal in the backcourt, but they'll have to foul in the front court if they can't get the steal.
On across the timeline, and there is the foul. 25.4 to play. Tequila. That's his 3rd. So again, double bonus here for Providence. 2 more free throws upcoming for Bryce Cotton.
You know, going down the stretch, you want to shoot free throws like Providence does. 2nd in the country. And they got their best guy up there. Their leader, their captain, the heart and soul of their team. This is what he's supposed to do, make these free throws.
Cotton up to 24 points, 6 assists. 13 of his 24 have come here in the second half.
Providence is 1 stop away from winning this game. They got to play without fouling, secure the rebound, and get fouled.
Young curls a pass, saved by Currington, then Fortune knocked it away. Cotton up the floor, and the 2-hand finish.
Dang, he took off, didn't he?
He took off, and he got up. Meanwhile, on the other end, a foul called on Providence. This is going to be 3 free throws upcoming at first. Here's the dunk.
I didn't know he had that in him, especially after 39 minutes and 50 seconds of playing. That was pretty good.
Cotton listed at 6'1". Meanwhile, Hamilton shooting 3. Kadeem Batts was charged with the foul. He has 3.
Ed Cooley looks like he'd like to execute Kadeem Batts right now for fouling a 3-point shooter.
Hamilton makes the second. Hamilton is a threat somewhat from beyond the arc. They're 44% three-point shooter.
Got to make him make it. You know, don't give him the easy ones because he's good at the foul line and a really skilled big man.
The freshman makes 2 out of the 3. Henton the rebound. Cotton has it with 7. There's the foul. 7.2 seconds to play.
You know, DePaul fought really hard here today. They should be very proud of their effort. Oliver Purnell did a great job under very adverse circumstances. 3 starters out, missing 34 points. They fought every second today to try to win this game.
Good turnarounds for both teams. Cotton and the Friars will be back home on Tuesday to take on St. John's. Now the Blue Demons stay home and welcome the aforementioned Georgetown Hoyas here on Monday night. Cotton a game-high 28. What a game he's had. 5 seconds, Young. McGee. Put back will count for Currington. And that's the way it ends. Providence knocks off DePaul by 5, 77-72. Ed Cooley's Friars now 6-3 in league play, while DePaul falls to 2-7.
It's going to be imperative. If Providence wants to get in the NCAA tournament, they got to win at home. This is a good road win for them. DePaul played hard. If they keep playing like this with this energy, they're going to win some games going down the stretch.
Bryce Cotton a game-high 28 points. Henton at 19. Harris at 18. All led by a career-high R.J. Currington, 22, in a losing effort today. So the final score once again from Rosemont. Providence 77, DePaul 72. Speaking now for Kevin O'Neill, this is Corey Provis saying so long. Enjoy your weekend, folks. So long from snowy Chicago as Providence beats DePaul.